in the dark. It's not a good day to be a bad guy.
What's up, metalheads? This is Wayne.
And Michelle.
And we are from the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast. And you are listening to
Burton and Aaron on the Lost in the Dark podcast.
Raise your horns.
Welcome back, Crip Crew! Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of Lost in the Dark podcast tonight. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! We got a good one. Actually, this is the Lost in the Bog podcast crossover. We're here with Aaron, of course, and Mike and Alex. This episode was recorded merely moments after we finished watching the brand new Netflix movie, Metal Lords. Metal Lords. We watched it all together, went over to Mike's, and then we went up and recorded in the Bog Talk Studio. And my God, this is a fun one. We really we pick it apart, but we all really, spoilers, we all enjoyed it. So everybody should check it out. But before we get into the episode, let's do some fucking shout outs, motherfuckers. First up on the list, we got some tours to talk about. First up, the Legend Recording Agency presents the Exorcism Tour, featuring friends of the show, Living Dead Girl, and headlining is Fate Destroyed. Now, full disclosure, a little teaser here. Aaron and I went down to Westland, Michigan, and we saw this tour on April 15th. So Friday, April 15th is when it was the first date of the tour. Proof right here. These were purchased at the tour. And we will be doing a full episode about that show coming up in like an episode or two, something like that. But in any case, Living Dead Girl, Fate Destroyed, the Exorcism Tour. It's kicked off in Michigan. It goes all over looks like mostly east side of the country. And it looks like it all ends down there at the, wait, what is that? Hang on. 4:30. Huh. All right. Looks like it all ends down there in Toledo, Ohio, with the Convalescence on April 30th. So super awesome. We had an amazing time. So if you are seeing this, this tour is happening right now. And so if you're seeing this and you have the opportunity to go, we cannot recommend it enough. Both bands, Fate Destroyed and Living Dead Girl, are fucking phenomenal live. Fucking phenomenal. They all absolutely destroy the stage. So I cannot recommend this tour enough. Next up, another one that just started, on the same night on April 15th, doesn't come to Michigan till next week, the 24th. But we got the Welcome to Chaos tour, again, presented by the Legend Recording Agency, featuring matriarchs, our brothers War and To Us Below are headlining that one. And it will be in Michigan, Chesterfield Diesel on April 24th. I, of course, will be there. I can't wait to fucking see War again. They are so awesome live. So fucking awesome. So huge shout out. And last, but of course never least, we have the Legacy in Blood tour, featuring the likes of our brothers and Reflection of Flesh, The Breathing Process, Alika, Necronomicon, and all headlined by the one and only Convalescence. And this one starts on the 29th at Papa Pete's in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Goes literally to every fucking corner of the country all the way until June 4th, where they come back here to Michigan to Diesel Concert Lounge. Unbelievable fucking tour. Convalescence has their first single off their upcoming album. It'll be out on June 9th, so right after this tour ends, called Undead Swarm. So be sure to follow all things Convalescence and all social media. And that's going to do it for the tours and the band shout-outs. Next up, as always, we have our own Michigan family right here, coming to you from the glacial dumping ground known as the Michigan Basin. Wayne and Michelle are a Michigan-based husband and wife educator and podcasting duo that examine UFOs and other paranormal topics within Michigan and beyond. Topics include UFOs, the paranormal, conspiracy theories, ghosts, alternative history, the Michigan Dogman, Bigfoot, cryptids, and all things strange and paranormal. All of this is looked into on their podcast, the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast. I cannot recommend this one enough. It is absolutely one of my favorite podcasts. I anxiously await every new episode. Wade and Michelle are two of my favorite people that I've ever met through doing the show. We have been on each other's shows more than once. Like, we have multiple crossover episodes. I think 3 now, I want to say, something like that. And we definitely are going, we already actually have plans, tentative plans to do more. So I'm sure we will be getting into some more over the next few months, especially in the summertime, once they're on summer break and everything. I'm sure they'll have a lot more time to to talk crazy paranormal crap with someone like me. But we love it. We love it. And we love them very much. Their podcast is the gift that keeps on giving. Every time they have someone new on, it's a whole new wormhole, rabbit hole for me to go down. And I end up following that person on social media, YouTube. It's like a whole new thing for me to check out. So I can never, ever thank them enough. I appreciate them and I love them to death. Again, everybody check out all things Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast. Last but never least is our brothers over there in Wisconsin, Reflection of Flesh. I just mentioned them, the Dipping Milk in Cookies podcast, hosted by Garrett the Cookie Commander Smith and Mike the Master Melker Sokovia. Join these two best friends as they try to figure out this thing we call life using friends, guests, and microphones. And these two they do it right. All right. They have amazing segments, one in which is the question of the week. So if you follow them on Facebook and you answer their questions of the week, they will give you a shout out live on the podcast. They'll read your response, and which is an awesome thing. They got the Master Milker's Mysterious Mysteries, which is a huge reason why, not just because of Reflection of Flesh and Garrett's the guitarist, but one day we are going to have to do a crossover episode with them one way or another. So that way I can pick Mike's brain about the paranormal. Him and I I'm sure we'll go deep. That's for sure. Very, very, very excited about that potential to happen one day. So everybody be sure to check out all things Dipping Milk in Cookies podcast. And that's it. There we go. We made it. We got it through the shout outs. Everybody, please be sure to check out all the things I shouted out. If you're anywhere near any of those tours, if you're into, if you're watching me right now, trust me, you will love these other podcasts that I just told you about. I cannot recommend enough. I would not be recommending them if I didn't listen to every single new episode that comes out. I listen to every episode. So, I'm never going to recommend something to you guys that I don't enjoy personally. That's it. There it is. So be sure to check out everything I just shouted out. Without further ado, Crip Crow! Welcome back to another edition of Lost in the Bog, where we talk all things Metal Lords. Enjoy.
We're recording now.
1, 2, 3.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Lost in the Bog podcast.
Woo!
What up?
Come on.
We're here to talk about the most probably on topic thing we have ever done with the combination of these two podcasts.
That's
Well,
true.
we talk movies and we talk metal. Why not movies that are about metal?
Because there's 3 of them and
Yeah.
2 of them suck.
Yeah, but yeah, they don't come out very often. That's very true.
Yeah.
No, we actually
don't come out very
no.
often.
We're gonna go back and watch This Is Spinal Tap. for
And
this fucking
and
podcast.
and I don't and I
We're
absolutely
down.
refuse to count movies that had just had metal soundtracks. I.e.
Yeah.
Freddy
Oh,
vs.
no.
Jason. That doesn't count.
No.
That's pretty
absolutely
metal
not.
Still, come on.
No.
It is metal,
no.
but it is not a movie about metal.
It's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
About metal, no.
Yeah.
But it does have metal within its DNA.
It needs to be about
I don't know
metal,
why I'm
though.
doing this.
It needs
Why
to
is
be
this
about
DNA
metal.
in my brain?
That's a
I'm-
big key
I'm
factor.
bumping my fists together.
Because in order to share DNA, people bump uglies.
Oh, okay.
And you're
so
bumping your
the-
fist.
Hey-o.
Fists are the uglies.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be sick to get ugly on both of your knuckles. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the title of this episode.
Yep.
That's-
That's exactly
Both
what
your
it-
knuckles.
ugly on both your knuckles. That's what this one's gonna be. No, man. We are gathered here today to talk about Netflix's newest release, Metal Lords. I'll be the first one to say I was super hesitant about this movie when it was first suggested.
I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a documentary for half a second.
For a second there, yeah, it was. But for me, it was mostly seeing them like the first shot of the kid in the corpse paint with the jean jacket or jean vest, the nerdy kid, and the girl sitting there. This felt a little like it was going to be Juno, but they say Slayer a couple times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't really know what to expect going into it. I spoilers ahead. I came out of it thoroughly pleased. It was fun.
Well, anytime Netflix gets a hold of anything that's like metal related, or they try to make some kind of story with it, it's always like,
It's
I don't know,
Netflix is not great writing.
kinda
Now,
cringy.
right off the bat, I'm gonna say the fucking writer of this movie was fucking D.B. Weiss, and any of you out there that feel how I feel about Game of Thrones will understand why when I saw his name pop up in the beginning of this, I was extremely worried.
They're gonna put a Starbucks cup out of nowhere.
No, I was more worried about unfulfilled plot lines. Unfulfilled plot lines are something we will get into at some point in this.
Hey, yo, you mean the like 3 or 4 that happened in this movie?
That just kinda-
shit, spoiler alert.
Don't go anywhere.
Actually, not even spoilers because nothing happens. They
Yeah,
put
you
up
can't
with
spoil
everything.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's one of the running jokes in Game of Thrones is when the David Benioff, who was one of the producers of this movie, so both of those assholes that ruined Game of Thrones were involved in this. It was like during season 6, one of the characters, all the fans were like, why did this character do this? And they were like, oh, she just kind of forgot that was there. And it was when the dragon got shot down by the boat that could shoot down dragons.
Oh, that
And
was
then,
wasn't that in the
it was
last
like-
season?
no, it
Oh
was in
no,
like
second
7.
to last season. Yep.
She was like, she just kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet, and it's like, what a shitty fucking excuse for bad writing.
Yeah.
She just kind of forgot. You came up with that on the spot, and then like you can see that happen again in this movie where they just kind of forgot that they introduced a plot thread, and then the credits roll, and you're like, but what about why was she from Scotland? Why
That
make
wasn't
her
a plot,
Scottish?
Come on. Because
That was definitely one of them. Like
they had to like add some kind of like quirk that was slightly different.
than just mentally unstable.
well, in the previews, I kind of thought that she was gonna end up being the vocalist because of that.
Yeah,
Well,
when
he's
she
gonna
threw
see
the
it and be like,
clarinet, I was
"Whoa."
like, that would be fucking sick if she was the vocalist.
So yeah, Netflix making a movie about metal with the Game of Thrones guys. I mean, all of the pieces are there for this to be just tragic, like a train wreck on par with. I'm forgetting the movie.
Lords of Chaos.
Lords of Chaos was all right.
I didn't see that movie. I don't know.
It was kind of try hard, but
Yeah,
any
that's
movie about metal, like they have to commercialize it, so obviously it's gonna feel a little try hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to make it available to
Like
the masses.
That, like I
which,
was saying while we were watching it, the whole love story feels like it was shot afterwards, where they were like,
I don't know about
That's-
that.
like-
I
or like-
actually think
like
that they did that
the
really
love story
well.
was in it. Obviously, I clearly in like the beginning of the script to
Well,
get
there
them together, but they didn't like. There was a couple of shots where it was like both actors either looked older or like they were standing in front of a green screen, like shit, like pickup shots.
and
Where,
it did,
where they were like,
there's
oh,
definitely
we didn't.
pickup shots
We
with
didn't
the
explore
CGI,
this love story enough for it to be a complete arc. So bring the actors back for a day, and we'll shoot like a couple scenes of them like staring along at each other in
Yeah,
classroom. or
like
something.
that one fucking scene of Kevin and Robbie outside when Homeboy's car gets wrecked.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was like they were like, oh, where's Kevin in that scene? We didn't do anything with that. We kind of forgot Kevin was there, so
Like,
call
we
him
can get
back.
The actor that plays Robbie too, so that way it looks like they're all part of the scene.
Yeah, they're all talking, and yeah, no, it's
Wonder if like I don't know 2020 stuff, like pandemic stuff, kind of. I wonder when it was filmed.
Oh,
I guess.
that's
That
for
would
sure.
Yeah, that's a good
Probably
question.
contributed to a lot of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure a bit of it at least.
I mean, pretty much any fucking movie that we see for the next year or so is probably gonna.
Yeah.
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 I didn't know if it was something that started like early last year, if it was something that was in production for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either actually.
Well, I mean, it was at least in production after. I'm gonna keep bringing it. Game of Thrones ended because the writer for that show then went on for his Netflix contract. I think this is first or second movie of his 3-movie contract.
Oh,
with
I didn't know that was a thing. All right.
That's that's why they abandoned that show so hard. They started getting Star Wars money, and then Star Wars said, "Fuck you." We see what you do to sagas, and then Netflix was like, "Hey, we're giving anybody the money." What, you think I wasn't gonna get there?
Let's stay on track. Let's talk about the movie.
7 minutes in, I got there. That's a record.
It's the new age of Ultron, people.
So yeah. Fans intimately familiar with Bog will notice I've shifted away from that.
Here we go.
So no, I'm gonna keep on track here. Maybe a couple more references throughout the episode. You know what's gonna happen, guys.
Oh yeah.
This fucking movie though is honestly, it gives me like. Do y'all ever see Todd in the Book of Pure Evil?
Yeah.
It gives me that vibe, like hardcore, but like it might just be like metalheads in high school kind of thing. But they also don't do anything supernatural in this show.
I got kind of like a super bad but for metalheads vibe from this one. Like every kid that was in a metal band in high school remembers my fucking band. We're gonna win fucking Battle of the Bands, and we're gonna fucking get the respect of this school. They're gonna see what metal can really be. And I did that. We played Rock You Like a Hurricane for a senior year talent show. And to be fair, people fucking, the YouTube video's up out there, man. Google it. Hazlet High School 2006 talent show. We fucking rocked it, dude.
Definitely Googling that.
And no, dude, fucking crowd got up, fucking on their feet, jammed. It was the biggest show I've ever played, technically. most people in the crowd. But so yeah, this movie whereas I watched Superbad and I remember being that fucking loser that like tried to go to the cool kids party, only I didn't get to fucking like hook up with Emma Stone later. I was just still considered a fucking loser.
Emma Stone's though.
Yeah.
So this I got more of the Superbad vibe from that, and actually I watched Superbad like 6 months after I graduated high school, so none of the jokes landed because it's like, yeah, I remember that fucking sucked. Like that was terrible. Like why are you guys laughing? Bro. You guys don't remember this? Like so this one I definitely it hit me more like the Superbad for metalheads. Like I was that kid, man.
Yeah, there's a little bit of cringe. There's a little bit of cringe in here.
Oh, there was some
cringe.
cringe.
Kind of cringe that's like, this is really stupid, but like the kind of cringe that's like, we all either have known that kid or have been that kid.
Yep.
And it is really hard to deal with sometimes.
Yep.
I was the especially junior senior year. I was the one that was like putting up all the flyers for the band show that nobody was old enough to go to.
Fuck yeah, bro.
All that stuff, take that stuff out. Yeah, like
the street team kid. Yep.
Yeah, man. That was kind of your point, Battle of the Band stuff. We never had that. We had like a bunch of talent shows and stuff, so that was kind of always.
Which you're on a YouTube video of.
Yeah, there's a couple out there.
Those are good videos, though.
Yeah. I don't know. That was cool to kind of see that, and just like the overall actual representation of metal, like just like heavy music, not done in like a corny kind of way. Like they actually took the care to put stuff in it that was like, that actually made sense for.
Yeah, and that right there was a clear sign of Scott Ian being directly involved.
Yeah.
There was the scene when he's first naming the metal bands for the kid to listen to.
Yep.
That it was like 10 bands in. Aaron and I looked at each other like, he's just introducing him to a bunch of dad metal, and that's not bad. I'm not saying dad metal's bad, but I'm saying like this kid's walking around in fucking half-shaved head talking about being in like a metal band in 2020 or whenever this is supposed to take place, and he's like, no dude, we're gonna play like fucking Megadeth and Iron Maiden and Metallica, and it's like that's, I don't know. When I was kid, when I was in that situation, 2006, it was fucking Lamb of God, Slipknot, like stuff like that. And eventually he names them like at the end, but they never really got anywhere near playing that heavy, which again, it's got to be commercialized.
Yeah.
So you say Slipknot, you show a quick video of Clown playing on the thing for us metalheads to be like, they just show the thing. And she like cringes when she sees Clown. It's like, yeah, that's not for everyone.
Yep.
But in the end, like the music that they played had to be what we call dad rock.
I mean, it was basically fucking Slayer.
Yeah, it was lighter Slayer.
Yeah, like
you know,
Metallica.
Right,
So
yeah,
Metallica.
it was
40 fucking minutes.
Metallica Slayer or
Yeah.
Death Maiden.
Oh.
Mega
Those
Maiden.
war picks.
You
like
couldn't
40
get-
goddamn minutes.
That was in there
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 times.
It was
Yeah, that's
so
true.
fucking- like, they took their sweet time with that song.
They
were
played
like,
War
"We got
Pigs a
the
lot."
rights to this fucking song.
Yeah. All the bands that definitely their music was in this. They did them right. You know, we got was it fucking a car chase scene to Painkiller? That was pretty
Yep.
dope.
That was
Yep. That was wild.
Every time fucking homeboy with the half shaved head. But that wasn't Kevin, was it?
No, Kevin was the dorky
It was
drummer.
the other guy.
It's sort of
Drummer
like,
boy.
Yeah, like none of the names I can really.
No, yeah, no. I remember.
Um,
I remember Emily because as the girl, only because if we didn't have subtitles on, we were watching it because they said her name like twice.
Right.
The first time they introduced when he says his name and she points, it sounds like she says I'm Lee because it's Scottish and she's saying Emily. And I was like, without subtitles, I would have thought her name was Lee this whole movie.
what the fuck was that kid's name? I'm like actually concerned. Like, how do I not?
How do we not remember the main character's name?
Yeah, bro.
Or the-
like this was literally his story.
The
We don't
secondary
even know
protagonist?
fucking
No, the main
single
kid was
thing about
Kevin,
him.
wasn't he? The drummer kid.
technically.
Yeah, that's a good selling point.
Hunter.
See, you won't
Hunter.
remember the main
Hunter.
character?
Yeah, there we go.
Hunter Sylvester.
I mean, in fairness, it takes me like I'll get 2 seasons into a show and still not know the main character's
yeah.
name. So
Yeah, he. So yeah, the names didn't really stick that well.
No.
no, but
Not
that
at all.
doesn't matter. That
No,
also
you know
doesn't
whose name did stick well? My second favorite character in the movie, fucking Robbie.
Fucking
Robbie.
Yeah.
Robbie, was
Robbie
the shit,
fucking
dude.
rules.
Robbie
That
was
scene,
sick.
he's walking out of the
should-
cafeteria, and Robbie just looks up at him, and goes, "Hail Satan,
yeah,
what's up, Robbie?" And just keeps walking out. Like
we need
that's-
to make merch that says Robbie rules,
yeah,
and it's just the
Robbie's my
horns.
dude.
Robbie was great. Also, I think the best thing was the fucking reoccurring joke of what is it, like Mollywop or whatever.
Oh,
it is.
Mollycoddle.
Mollycoddle. They had the funniest drummer. He goes from, oh man, look how high
Oh,
the fucking
my
drummer is,
God.
and he's just like,
Yeah, anyone can play this music, man.
yeah, like straight up, like just drumming out of time, literally fucking it up all over the place. And then fucking later, he's having to sit down with the lead singer. He's like, hey man, listen,
As the
you
two
can't
main
be keep
characters
on getting
walk
winged
past,
stuff
like-
from
the
yeah.
school.
And
Yeah.
like it's just like in the background, he's like having this whole fucking crisis of like going to
Yeah,
rehab.
you see another movie play out, which here we go. So which concerns me because that was what is by definition a B plot. The drummer in Mollycoddle was a fantastic B plot that was like casually referenced, and you see the whole thing play out throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which shows me that D.B. Weiss and David Benioff know how to do a B plot. So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
They can accomplish a B
They
plot
know what they're
in
doing.
as little fucking screen time as possible. Those characters were on the screen for maybe like 5 minutes before
Literally.
they actually get to the wellness center
Yeah.
towards
Yeah.
the end. Like,
Yeah.
Barely at all.
yeah.
Such a great like crossover, like because there was a whole like there's like
And it was
Why do I
one of
keep
those
seeing
like
that guy?
because
Like, he's-
I feel like to me felt like Scotty and being like, okay, the story's great, but where's the drug drama? Like everything will go through at some point. Like so
And they had to make a point that Hunter didn't do any drugs.
yeah. He was. They were both straight edge except for the couple times that Kevin drank.
Mm-hmm.
Which that was another one. Another scene that I related real hard with was Kevin getting wasted at the party and being like, it started out like, yeah, man, like we'll be in a band, sure, whatever. And then like 4 beers in, he's like, we're gonna be in the best fucking band ever, dude. People are gonna fucking know our name throughout the world, man.
It's kind of how it goes, though.
That is exactly how it goes. Again, like I see myself in both these characters so much. Like,
Yeah.
if you took both these guys and squished them together, it was me in high school.
Yep. And that's so rarely do we get a fucking heavy metal movie at all where like it's kind of
Much less where one, like, sure, there was cringy parts in it, but I think those parts were cringy because we're metalheads that
Right.
lived through that cringe. And
Right.
you see it and you're like, fuck, that's what I looked like.
Yep. Ah, damn it! I
Like
was
when
that.
he comes
dickhead.
walking up in full fucking black metal gear with the goddamn corpse paint, walking up looking like a badass, just gets tapped in the nuts and arrested. Like,
Take off the Krusty the Clown makeup.
That shit was. Oh my god! I'm so glad I was never that kid. Like I was kind of a fucking idiot, fucking metalhead, but like I never like dressed up like that and like fucking. I don't know.
Oh come on! You never put on corpse paint?
No.
What?
no,
I once
dude,
in my entire life.
Oh.
I hate the feeling of like makeup or anything like on my face.
Oh, I get that.
I don't know
That's
what it is,
yeah.
man. It
I
freaks
hate.
me out.
yeah.
I don't like it.
I
It
really
bothers
tried
me
it.
too, actually.
It's not. I
wow,
don't know,
really?
it's not for me.
You did, right, Burton?
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
I was about to
Oh,
be like,
yeah.
tell me I'm not the only person who wore fucking makeup to high school. Like,
Bro, yeah,
Oh
no,
wait,
I
whoa,
couldn't
wait!
do
I
makeup.
wait,
never. Hang
no,
on.
really? Am I?
I never wore it to high school,
Oh,
but
God.
I did it on stage, like in my
Welcome
high
to
school
fucking
band.
Lost in the Bog, where it's fucking Mike and 3 posers.
Yes. I mean, yeah, no, I don't. Maybe I did.
Oh, man,
I don't remember.
I left my. See, that's
I,
what-
my
what hit
my
me
high
about
school tried to
Kevin's
kick me out for
transformation.
wearing an Eaton Back to Life T-shirt. So
Oh, mine was House of a Thousand Corpses. It says corpses. That means death, so you can't wear it.
fucking East Lansing High School. I just told this story the other day to somebody. I can't remember. But East Lansing High School, fucking back when it was like a big news thing. Back when fucking Kurt Cobain killed himself. Someone the next day wore a Kurt Cobain T-shirt and they fucking suspended him because they were like, "That's promoting suicide." Like, what the fuck? No.
That,
what?
I mean,
Like-
that screams 90s moms, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's-
so yeah, then I show up with a fucking Eaton Back to Life T-shirt, and I had to get called into the principal's office. Like, the fuck?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, school I went to, man, they were hardcore after me. Like, I played it right though, and I was like super sweet to all the teachers. I was never started trouble with anyone.
Nope.
Uh,
Never got in a fight. Nothing.
I got into a couple like scuffles, but it was usually like I was able to play it off like they came after me.
Right.
Yeah, and usually they did. It was fucking schools full of pseudo. I mean, he said it in the movie. Suburban fucking neo Nazis.
Yep.
That's the high school I went to where what are you fucking different? You queer like
Yep.
the hell, dude? I'm wearing a trench coat. I knew kids that
Oh,
died in
and
Columbine.
yeah, exactly.
Statistically,
Yep.
No, you didn't.
That was a whole nother thing. Cause you and I are about the same age.
Yep.
And so, and I didn't realize this until later in life, but like Columbine literally happened less than like 6 years after I started high school. It was like very recent.
Wait.
Wasn't Columbine like 98?
Columbine was 97.
97. Okay. So yeah. And then I started in 04.
Yeah.
So yeah. So like, yeah, 7 years. Yeah. And so yeah, we had that
Oh yeah, dude. I started 02, man. It was and I went my freshman year. I left with a fucking Vegeta shirt and like corduroys, and went to sophomore year registration with like black blue hair, the eyeliner going back to my hairline because I didn't know how to do it yet.
oh
Trip pants,
Fuck me.
boots, all that shit.
That-
And parents like of kids that I'd been going to school with my whole life thought I was a new student, and they were like, "You stay away from him." To their kids, they were like,
my
"You don't go
God.
near him." And then they'd come in and be like, "Oh my God, Mike!" I'm like, "Oh hey, what's up, guys? You guys want to play fucking Magic together after high school or some
Oh
shit?"
my god.
And then I'd go over to their house, and their parents were like, "What did I say, Mike? What the fuck happened to you?"
That fucking scene in the movie though, where he's putting on the corpse paint and he looks over at the YouTube tutorial, was
Yeah, it's like
so
metal and
fucking
shit,
funny.
fucking blaring, and then fucking stops just so you can.
Well, and that's
Like that. Okay.
truth to it right there is I didn't have that. I just had like
Yeah.
I had like a fucking picture of Marilyn Manson that I printed out
Right.
At
Yep.
school and got in trouble for it. And it was black and white because they wouldn't spring for a color printer. So I would just try to like I didn't know anything about like blending or shades or anything like that. I just took a fucking eyeliner pencil and fucking drew on my face every morning. Like it was no eyeshadow, no nothing, just eyeliner, just thick and just It was so bad.
All these new kids don't know how easy it is.
Right? You guys got your fucking YouTubes and your fucking shit. I had to download JPEGs.
And print them off black and white.
Print them off in
printers.
black and white. I mean, thank God it was corpse paint.
Made sense.
I wasn't trying to learn any actual if I tried to do the mechanical animals makeup, I would have just straight up got my ass kicked if that was the case.
No, wouldn't it be like the raccoon eye at that? No, that wasn't quite raccoon eye.
I went past raccoon eyes, man. I did. It was seriously. It was I did 2 lines coming off the tear ducts in the back, going back there, and then 2 lines off the tear ducts in the front, going down on my face. And every once in a while, I would do them coming up my forehead. Oh, dude, it was so fucking bad.
Man, I would not have talked to you in high school.
No, a lot of people didn't. A lot of people didn't. The only one real friend, and if she's listening, I hope you are, because I still resent you. Told me years later that she started hanging out with me because there was a group of students that were concerned about me because I was the first hardcore goth kid.
Oh no!
And then this next group of kids in your year, it was the year after me, came in, and they were these fucking LARPer kids, but they all wore cat ears and shirts from Hot Topic and shit. So you remember that scene in fucking South Park when she pulls the goth kids in about the vampire kids?
Yes.
And it's don't let this little fat dude. I had that fucking exact shit happen to me where they pulled me in and they were we don't want this to become a distraction. I was I don't fucking even like these kids. These fucking stinky little losers, dude. I'm the fucking OG. They're copying me, if anything.
Yeah, 100%. They're the posers.
Yeah, they all stunk. They all refused to shower and shit. So they made a bad name for me as a goth kid. Everyone would be oh yeah, aren't you friends with such a name? I won't say it. But anyways,
animal collars.
Oh yeah, straight up. Yeah, those weirdos. Not we. And do as thou wilt, but it's the whole of the law or whatever. Hail Satan.
She and Flourish.
Yeah,
but
no judgment.
But so this girl that was one of not the popular the jock ones, but that mid-tier popular, kind of friends with everyone.
Right.
Started hanging out with me a bunch, and it was really cool. And she made it very clear she wasn't looking for be my girlfriend or whatever. So I just had this cool girlfriend to hang out with in high school. We didn't go to shows or anything, but during school, whatever. So years later, we reconnected and we're hanging out and talking. It turned out that there was a group of kids after the other kids started, the LARPer kids, that became concerned about all the goth kids in their school. So they all decided to pick one goth kid, and befriend them so that they could keep an eye on them and report anything that was happening. It was a fucking straight up secret police shit.
That kind of fucking shit happened in my high school too. Yep.
Yep.
Man,
So yeah, again, if you're listening, I still resent you.
Holy shit!
It's fucking it's psyops shit.
What is life even, man? What the fuck?
Never dealt with any of that shit.
Dude, straight up, I had the fucking the school Stasi, dude. It was fucking ridiculous. That's why watching this, I felt such kinship with these kids where everyone's you're a fucking asshole. But then watching it also, I was I kind of was an asshole too. The times that kids would call me Columbine, and I would give them the finger guns. Probably wasn't the greatest idea,
Maybe not as sensitive as you should have.
No, I realized that I invited a lot of that shit on me,
Yeah.
I was just not that kind of kid, man.
Not really.
High school me was just a stoner that liked metal.
Oh, see, I didn't even smoke pot until
Yeah, I didn't
my
until
senior year.
Yeah, same.
16. When I turned 16, me and my friends decided that smoking weed sounded like a good idea. And then we just kept on doing that. So that was kind of fun.
Except for, the occasional, when you're a kid, your grandparent or somebody will hand you a cigar and you'll take a hit off it or whatever. Besides that, I didn't smoke anything until I was 18.
I guess I should correct. I ate Adderall like candy from sophomore year on. But I didn't even, dude, straight up, it wasn't even like doing Adderall. It was on the weekends we would get some because my buddy was like, yeah, dude, if we take these, we can play Halo until Monday. That was right.
Was that middle school? Like fucking hell. That sounds like.
No, that was dude, high school. I'm old, man. Don't forget.
Not true. Halo was
Halo
a
Combat
while
Evolved
back.
came out when I was in 8th grade.
Bro.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So wait, you graduated what? 06?
06.
All right.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
See,
yeah,
I was
I'm the old
supposed
guy.
to be like, because when I was in, because when I came up to Lansing from the Detroit area, in the Detroit area at that point in time, they told you put your kids in school earlier. So when I came up here, I was like a full age year behind my entire class. So I should have been 07 technically, but in 6th grade they ended up holding me back so I could be with people my own age. So I ended up being 08. Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, man. That God, now I'm thinking about all the shit that I was too old for in high school. God damn. Now, wow. But yeah, no. So that was just minor correction there. I did do drugs, but it was just to play Halo. It was actually Halo 2. At the time.
Video games made me do drugs.
No, I did. They didn't make me do drugs. I did drugs because I was like, I can play more.
If that's not the selling point for Adderall, I don't know what.
Oh yeah, it
Bro,
is.
I can play more.
Play Xbox till Monday.
Yeah, it was like, okay, again, to bring it to South Park, when they get the Okama Game Sphere and they're taught like plotting out how much time they have to play, that was us like, all right, we get out at 2:17, we get over to Beep's house, we pick up, I don't know, 100 milligrams a piece. My mom, I didn't eat lunch today, so I got enough for 200. All right, so we'll get that. And then we'll take this much at this time, this much at this time, this much at this time. We won't need to sleep until, I mean, if we go to bed at like midnight on Sunday, we should be fine for school, right? Yeah, we'll just save 20 milligrams for it. We never did. So yeah. And then,
Jesus Christ. You guys are animals.
So reason we'd get through the legendary campaign in like 6 hours and be like, well, shit, now what? I don't know. You want to watch The Matrix 3 times? Talk about how life is a simulation. It was like, it's speed talk, man.
Bro, I once watched the movie Wanted on Adderall, and I swear to God, that movie's only like 45 minutes long. Like, straight up, like that movie felt like it had nothing going on. Like, it was just like, and now it's the end. And I was like,
it
oh,
really
shit, for
didn't
real?
though. That movie didn't have jack shit going on.
It's
I was just
only
thinking about that the other day,
45
too.
minutes long.
Like, it's pretty quick. I gets through it all.
Yeah, it just starts and it's like the womb. Okay, now shoot these people, and now we're trying to shoot you, and now you shot us. Fuck.
Fuck.
Morgan Freeman's in it for
Credits
some
with
reason.
like what's the name? Probably a Scott Cornell song.
Right. you see Chris Pratt get cracked with the fucking keyboard.
Some
You
shit
see
like that.
Morgan Freeman say the F word. You see Angelina Jolie shoot herself in the head. It just happens so fast, and you're like, oh, it's over. Oh shit. Fuck, man.
Yeah, and I
Sorry,
try
that's
really
fine.
hard not to be the source material was better guy, but whoever adapted the source material from Wanted into that movie just flipped through like 2 pages and saw the curving the bullet thing
That's pretty
and the
much what it
loom
felt
thing.
like.
And didn't look at any of the characters because the guy that wrote it clearly cast the movie as he was writing it, because like the main character was played by Eminem, fucking Halle Berry was Angelina Jolie, and what's his name, Mel Brooks was Morgan Freeman. If you read the original Wanted comic, it is 100% that. In the original Wanted comic was they were murdering superheroes, like
Oh.
yeah, like
I didn't know that.
the supervillains won. Basically is what Wanted is, and then like it's them like doing whatever they want. Like at one point he just goes and fucking like murders a pop star, and when the cops come in he shows his supervillain card and they're like, oh shit, gotta let him go.
So that's almost like The Boys.
Kind of just well, I mean almost, because it's rather than like the boys like trying to screw him over and one up him, it's the villains just straight up like got together. Like at one point they go in and you see like Batman's cowl and Superman's cape like all bloodied like as the guy's trophies. Like it's like they murdered all the DC villains. And then sometimes they have like a machine that they go and raid other timelines and like, oh yeah, we found this one guy who wore a spangly suit and had a shield on his arm, so we cut his arm off. Like they went into Marvel Universe and killed all the Marvel heroes and looted that. It's, the comic's great, and whoever adapted it into the movie just did not read it at all.
Yeah,
they
there was
curved the
no
bullets?
comic shit.
No.
And if they were to like redo that in that way, people would fucking love it now. Like,
Oh, absolutely. It was during that weird limbo time where like graphic
It
novels
was-
could be adapted into movies, but they commercialized them hard enough.
Yeah, that was-
they sanitized them.
that was like around like Dark Knight-ish.
Dark Knight,
Iron Man era.
Sucker Punch was
Yeah.
one that like,
Yep.
they,
So,
they made that and they
Kick-Ass.
just- Kick-Ass, and they
Yep.
just sanitized the shit out of it for
Yep,
commercial-
Watchmen. Even though Watchmen was pretty good. I actually
Watchmen
love
is one
Watchmen.
of my favorite
I
movies.
love that movie.
The director's cut's the one I gotta watch, so I'm that guy.
The intro of that movie is to this day one of my all-time favorite intros.
Oh yeah, dude.
That Bob with the Bob Dylan song, and she puts the fucking flower in that fucking gun. Yeah.
Now we're talking about Zack Snyder.
Here we go. Anyway, back to Metal Lords.
Cancel
Um,
the Snyderverse.
Back to Metal Lords.
Yeah, Metal Lords, man.
We haven't even really broke it down yet. We just
So,
Nah, man.
so I mean,
Like,
well,
this
it's
movie is
there's
such a-
not really a lot to break down. So you got your basic plot
It is-
structure.
yeah,
you
it is a-
know,
it is
two friends.
plain-
One of them is
Yep.
trying to bring his friend to the metal side.
Yep.
You know, like he needs to.
High school.
In and
I
out
was
of it.
also this guy where I was like, you need to start playing an instrument so that we can make a band.
Yep.
I just want to play guitar in a band. And like
Yep.
that was like the thing I wanted to do. So like my friends were like,
Yeah.
I don't want to learn how to play bass, dude. And I'm like, damn it.
Yep.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you've got your basic, story structure. You got two friends. One's trying to get the other to do something, break his friend out of his comfort zone. You get the act one of our hero being very calm and shy and reserved, which he holds up through most of the movie and eventually learns to stand up for himself somewhat. But you get the second act transformation was really great in this movie, where like you see him start to like break out of his shell and become himself during that War Pig montage.
I liked that progression. I liked how in the very beginning of the movie, our main guy literally said, "I don't really understand heavy metal.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it." But throughout the progression of the film, like he ends up getting it.
Understands it.
Yeah.
And like he does. They check it all off on the list.
Yep.
In the beginning of the movie, he says about like speaking truth to power, speed, commitment. All this stuff. He looks like
Yep.
he checks them all off throughout the movie. But it's what I really dug about it was like how the main character like gains his self-confidence through metal. Sorry, he doesn't gain it through it. The metal helps him find the self-confidence inside him, but it doesn't fundamentally change who he is.
Right.
It doesn't fundamentally change anyone for better or worse. Like
Right.
we see Hunter go through his evolution of realizing that you kind of gotta play the game in order to fight the machine,
Mhm.
kind of thing. Like you get that aspect through it. You get you can't you can be metal 100% of the time, but you don't have to be a dick.
Right.
Is his whole storyline in this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And there's that love story that gets like I feel was a footnote to begin with, but they kind of expand on it again. Commercial value. You got to give for the metalheads watching this with their girlfriend, they gotta have their B plot of this girl's on meds and she meets this guy she really likes and then she stops taking her meds, and there's where we get to the first plot
Point of
thread.
contention. Yeah, they also dropped the whole fucking thing about her being on meds.
It's kind of I hesitate to say like this is a movie where you should take these kind of lessons, but when you're telling a story, everything that you put on screen matters. Every line of dialogue, the whole thing I say every time we talk about a movie like this, every frame is a painting where everything is supposed to be there. And they do this. They show her lose her shit. They show her become an outcast because of her losing her shit. And then you see that she explains that it's because she has mental issues. And it's hard to say, I hate saying it like that, but
They make it seem like it's like a severe thing.
a severe thing. She's got multiple bottles of pills in her room, and then she meets this guy that she falls in love with, and she goes off her medication. And that point in that story, generally what you need a wrap up there where she realizes that the medication is there to help her and it's helping her fall in love. Instead, she
kind of says a line about it, like she's like, I probably should just go back on my meds.
Did she? I don't even remember her saying that. That must have been when I was peeing, because last I saw of it, she like hits her pill bottles off the thing. They kiss, and then like she like loses her cool with the guy, and the guy's like, "Hey, you're pretty metal. That's awesome." And
But she also said, "You're my happy pill now" to the guy.
yeah, that was the kind of dangerous
at one
part
point when he was kind of apologizing for Hunter and like trying to get her to like kind of like tell him the full story and stuff, and she was just like, maybe I should just go back on my pills and like I should.
Yeah,
and we do. But the thing is, we don't get that. Instead, she goes and plays metal, and like that's great. That's her help. But like, you know, especially in today's age, and 100% in the metal scene, like mental health is super fucking important. And taking those steps and just going off your pills because you join a band and meet a guy is not the way to go. I'm not a fucking medical professional by any means, and no one should ever take anything I say as medical advice. There, now you can't fucking sue me, assholes. But that, to me, that's a dangerous storyline right up along with like Wonder Woman 1984, with Cheetah's storyline, where instead of having a storyline where she realizes that being herself is the way to go, she copies somebody else, gets her shit wrecked, and gets forgotten on an island, and then that's it. Like,
yeah,
she doesn't. You don't get the like her learning to love herself storyline. You only see the bad side, which is the same kind of thing that you're getting with Emily's story in this movie. She goes off her meds, suggests, I guess, getting back on them, but we never see her like finish her journey of that. Like that storyline.
It's never like the conclusion, the wrap up of it. It's, you know, it's Chekhov's gun. You know, if you see something in the first act, then you fucking completely ignore it in the third act and never talk about it again. You know,
people are going to
storytelling.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't really think about that storyline in that sense. I mean, I guess you could. That was kind of the one thing that kind of pulled me off, or as far as like kind of took me out of it in some points, was that like how many times they like switch gears and like talk about one other plot point, and they try to like fit this like love story in with the story of this like band that's trying to get together, and then there's this other like drama with it all and stuff. It kind of felt like it didn't really know where to go at certain points. And the way it kind of wrapped up was like, you know, I mean, it made sense as far as like the kind of where they went with it, with the whole, you know, Battle of the Bands thing being the very end thing, because that was the main point. But I just feel like a lot of it just, I don't know, some of it kind of felt like it could have gone in a few different directions for it to kind of make a little more sense.
It was, I mean, that again, that's just that guy's writing, man. I feel like
fucking homeboy basically got kissed up on by a blonde girl at party, and then his girlfriend never learns about that. And it's just his moment to be like, no, I like girlfriend, and then goes off and feels victorious about this.
I see that one. I don't really mind them kind of like, because that scene in itself was fucking great. Homeboy has lost his virginity to his girlfriend, and they're in love, but he's at a party where he just played a great gig, and he's feeling real high on himself, and he's a little drunk, and this blonde chick starts kissing on him, but then the fucking four lords of metal appear. Fucking Kirk Hammett, Rob Halford, Scott Ian, and Tom Morello.
Yeah.
All show up, and at first it's Scott Ian being like, dude, what do you need, a fucking tutorial? But then the other three show up and like talk him through like being in love with his girlfriend, and don't be a dick, like you're committed to this girl, you love this girl, why would you throw it away for this? And it's just, I don't know, I've met a lot of metalheads that like are deep down like hopeless romantics, and no, like, I mean, sure, have I, you know, hooked up with my you know, groupie after a show? Sure. Wasn't a, you know, committed relationship, but I have to feel like coming off one of those highs on a show, yeah, there would be a moment where I'd question myself, and I hope that I would have my four metal gods appear and explain to me, you know, like,
don't be a dick, man.
Yeah, it's fucking Danny Filth arguing with Clown.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm trying to think of who.
Who would appear to you guys?
Yeah, who? All right, let's. All right, who your four metal gods? Let's see. I'll start. I already got Clown. Danny Phil.
God, we might have to come back to this one. This is
Yeah, no, we'll have that'll be something. Maybe we'll revisit this for a commercial during Multiverse of Madness. Or not Multiverse of Madness, Multiverse Murder Fest.
I don't even know who I
We're doing it first. We did it first.
We're gonna do an episode on Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, we're definitely doing one. We're definitely going to see that together.
That'll lead into Multiverse Murder Fest.
Yeah. Multiverse is shattered. Wanda Maximoff is on the run. I'm assuming.
Give me House of M.
There are mutants. That's what I think is gonna happen.
Lots more mutants.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
All
like,
the
you know,
mutants.
that scene was just great because it kind of helps like break that stereotype of like, you know, the metalheads, you know, just doing whatever for whatever reason, like, you know, we still have heart kind of thing. And he does. He eventually, on the direction, Rob Halford fucking looking down at him with that big fucking gnarly ass beard. When he says, "Don't be a dick," I loved it. I love that it was the British guy saying it to him. Like, it's just that whole thing. That scene was fantastic. I would put that up there for best scene in the movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Other than the one about them trying to defend the fact that metal's kind of like has its like gay tendencies or whatever.
Okay,
That shit was so
Rob.
fucking
That
funny,
was
dude.
fucking
We
hilarious.
don't want our metal band to be gay. And then
Yeah,
you start
it's
looking at
kinda
the
gay.
fucking nude dudes all over his wall.
Goblin cock.
Goblin cock looking dick with the fucking Prince Albert through the head.
all that has to be taken in context.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I feel like that it was. Now, obviously, there's always an ongoing conversation in the metal community. We all see it. We've all experienced fucking like hate in the community. Whether it be fucking Nazi punks, who could fuck off. Love that song. You got the fucking the Confederate flag battle shirt wearing motherfuckers that come in just to crowd kill. Like we've all seen it. And one of the biggest things that we have to deal with in it, even though one of the fucking metal lords is Rob Halford, is homophobia. And I love the way he like kind of accidentally said it, like because we've all let it slip at some point, like, you know, usually during a particularly intense gaming session. Where you throw the R word out or you throw the G word out, and you know, I myself during isolation, I screamed the F-bomb into my microphone playing The Division, and immediately turned the game off and was like, okay, I sleep with men. Why did I just say that so hurtfully? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So, you know, it's one of those things in the movie when he's like, it's kind of gay, and then both people are like, whoa, like, oh, it was great for them to kind of address that. They didn't maybe they, you know, show all that imagery, which was fucking hilarious. I did love it. Was what is it? Striker. Was that the band? The 4 dudes in just fucking like
I thought that was
fucking booty shorts.
I thought it was. Oh yeah, I was gonna say. I thought it was Manowar.
Manowar, was it Manowar?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just zooms right in on all their fucking bulges, and it's like, dude, straight up. Like there's a lot, especially in the 80s. You know, big, barrel-chested, oily dudes in fucking knee-high boots. And white shorts, like in big, fluffy, permed out
spandex, leather.
Yeah. There was a lot
I mean, well, you know, and Rob Halford is the fucking one that brought the fucking leather into it, and the spikes and the chains and all that shit, and that was fucking coming straight out of the clubs.
Yeah, straight. Oh
So-
yeah. That's the BDSM imagery starting like from Judas Priest evolved into what we see in like black metal and all that shit nowadays.
100%.
Which is it's hilarious to me that like you see so many of those bands, like a lot of those like first wave black metal bands that were like super hateful and like all that shit. It's like you're copying a guy who is an out and proud and absolutely fabulous homosexual.
Yeah.
And you don't see the irony in dressing like him and playing music that is inspired by him and then going and saying those things.
Right.
Like,
Doesn't make any fucking sense. Yeah.
There's a lot of irony lost, I feel like, in like quote unquote serious. You can see it on the Lost in the Dark video. You can't see it. I'm air quoting really hard here. The hardcore metal community. That there's a lot of irony that gets lost. Like, you know, I understand it. I fucking go to a show with fucking shorts and leggings and boots and like a cut off denim vest. I know what I look like. Like, but that's how I want to look, and that's what I like. And if someone wants to come up and like make a comment on it, it happens to me all the time at work. I've got a fucking mohawk and black fingernails, and where I work, I deal with a lot of the older generation, a lot of boomers. And I know what I'm getting myself into, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna fucking like be a total asshole. Have I gone off on people before? Yeah, I've had like, you know, someone makes a comment about like, it looks like they missed the part when they were shaving your head.
Oh my God.
And the guy said that to me, and I looked at him, I was like, did you stay up all night writing that joke, or did you get enough sleep to be able to work on this equipment today? Should you go home? And I did have another guy said something about my nails, and I just did the bit like, and turned around and walked away. You know, but nothing outwardly. So like I said, I know what I'm inviting about. I knew what I was doing when I went to high school, fucking looking like a Walmart version of the Crow, you know?
Exactly.
Like, I knew I was inviting that on myself, and I still do. And but you know, I accept that. But then there's people that will go out in full fucking gear like that and wonder why people treat them like they do, or like act like they do. And it's like, yes, it's shitty that they treat you like that, but dude, you gotta understand. Like, you just walked into fucking Speedway to pump gas, and you're in a leather brassiere, 7-inch fucking boots, and it's 90 degrees outside, and you're wearing a full canvas trench coat, sweating your ass off. Like, yeah, we're gonna look at you funny. Like, should we? No, we shouldn't give a shit, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
because we're fucking human beings. People judge people, you know.
Yeah, it's regardless. Yeah. Yep, that's very true.
Step off this soapbox. I don't know why I climbed up on it so hard.
God damn it.
You know,
stop fucking making fun of my makeup and my nails.
And another thing.
No, and another thing. Yeah.
No, it's like I think it was kind of the first time that we've ever had a movie like this kind of touch on that sort of thing, because it's always kind of a weird, like, I don't know. I really like. I mean, it's definitely something that's, you know, like kind of known as far as like the imagery and stuff, but it's never really touched on quite like that, I think. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked with the four of us gathered before about the fact that like heavy metal and movies, it's really hard to combine those two.
Yeah, it is.
And have it be like, you know, not done in a way that's like
where
corny or like,
yeah, it doesn't feel like they're like pushing it in, like, hey, look, we're talking about metal. Come by us saying like this story was first and foremost a coming of age story about a kid finding his first love and confidence and making amends with his best friend, set to the backdrop of metal.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Metal was more of a backdrop, and I think that's kind of. I mean, it's a good way to do it. You know, like to have it kind of be as like the underlying thing as opposed to the main thing. It definitely makes it more accessible. You know.
Yeah, it does, and that's like especially like when they were naming the bands, and then he's like going through that list of like stuff to play, and he's like, I played Black Sabbath and what was it, Metallica, and I'm like halfway through Slayer, but I'm having a little bit of trouble. Like, all right, we'll play something else. We'll play Metallica. I think that was every musician's like in that era in metal. That's what you go through. That's what you start with. You learn that fucking.
Yep.
And then you're like, all right, I can play that riff. Time to find a drummer. You know what? The fucking scene where he's talking to him and he goes, you know what we need? We need a bassist. When the kid sat down to play the drums.
It was like the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. We need a bassist. A bassist will make the band.
Oh, dude, like that was, as far as like relatability, dude, the drummer kid, like.
Oh my God.
After he buys the kit and it's just sitting in his room, he's just staring at it. He's like, it's huge. He's like, he's just looking at it. It's like in the center of his room. He's got nothing else going on. And then like the next scene where he's loading it all in his car, like dude, like that's been there. Like I love that.
Comedy for drummers.
Yeah, they
there was some good drummer jokes.
The nods to musicians
little
in this
kid
movie.
Just talking shit to him.
It was very clear and very good thing that they had Scott Ian. I assume, even though he's executive producer, I'd like to think that he was there on set And every time they were like, yeah, and then like he'll just drive over to his friend's house and like take the drums over there. And Scott went, I think he should have like a Corsica.
Yeah.
Wait, what? How would he fit all the drums in there? Exactly. And the filmmakers were like,
Exactly.
all right, I don't get it, but every guy in a black shirt on set is nodding right now, and like they know what he's talking about. So like, yeah, all right, we'll do that.
That kind of joke only comes from the understanding of it, like,
Yeah.
which is
No, there was
so
definitely.
odd.
I don't know if it was Scott Ian or not. But there was definitely a writer or a director or somebody on that set that knew what the fuck.
when he's pushing his like cab and stuff into the club, and he's knocking into
fucking
the
hit
door
you.
behind him. It's like, dude, been there. Like,
I will say the one thing that didn't happen. I understand why it didn't, because she was a different character in this story. Was everyone making the bassist carry shit? There was not once a hey, hold this moment, and I felt a little robbed.
Hey,
Yeah, I guess it's-
Hey, hold on to this real
grab
quick.
Water
Yeah.
real quick, and then we can start the song.
Yeah, I'm thirsty. Could you grab me? Oh, no, he's already gone. Yeah, there's bassists are always going to be, especially in metal, are going to be not underrepresented, because that makes me sound like I'm being whiny. But like a lot of the jokes between bassists are like the kind of jokes that are between bassists, where they like look at each other like, yeah, right, yeah, okay.
well, they said the main one when the guy shaved his head. He was like, "Oh, I look like
Jason
oh,
Newsted.
Yeah, he's the guy that got fired."
Just gives him that fucking look.
Yeah. And then they walk upstairs and just look at his dad, and he's like, "If I didn't, I'd look like this guy or whatever." It was like, so, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it looks like our school mascot. It doesn't look anything like our school. It couldn't look anything less like our school mascot. In fact, it looks more like a baby dick than our mascot. And the dad's just fucking looking at him. The guy that got to play his
Slams
dad,
the toes on the
so
fucking
funny.
window, like, God damn it, this kid.
that guy, he's
the
been in
fuck is
so
he
many
from?
things. He's in like Drunk History. He's in a bunch of sketch comedy stuff.
Yeah.
He was fantastic.
Hilarious.
He played the fucking fed up dad of a metalhead so fucking well. The fucking I'm going to play tennis. That fucking line was hilarious to me, dude. Yeah, man. I don't know, man.
Who's the fucking other guy? The doctor?
Oh, who played in the
Jason.
Joe
Joe Manganiello.
Joe Manganiello.
Manganiello. There we go.
Yeah, him, his cameo, showing up, because they plant the seeds pretty early, which was good writing for those guys, of him talking about this band that could have been up there with Slayer and Metallica, but chose not to and broke up. He ends up running into the guitarist when his dad sends him to fucking rehab, and I think that was a nice little pat on the back to all the metalhead kids, being like, your parents don't understand, but also you got to not be a dick.
Right.
Of him telling him well, you're going through a list of drugs and he's not on. He's like, I get this shit all the time. Like, parents don't know how to deal with their kids, so they send them to me. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
well, he was talking about how he's like, then what is it? He's like just fucking metal, man. He's like, I don't know. He's like, oh, another one of these. Like,
He's like, I can't waste my time with you. I got this fucker, and he points to
And
the
it's
brand.
the drummer.
The drummer. Yeah, that fucking beeline is still just, it was so great.
It's so
So
fucking
well done.
I loved it. And then when Kevin comes to save him after finding out that his dad sent him to the fucking place, Hunter's like, oh hey, yeah, you know Ray, right? Yeah, the drummer of that other band. And Kevin goes, oh great, I can get you out here too, so that way we can both play the talent show. Let's do it. And
Molly Cottle
Ray is
drummer's
just
like,
yeah.
I don't know if I've been equipped with the coping mechanisms to be able to go back out and do what I used to do. You'll be fine, man.
Yeah, he says, I have to bring you back after the talent show. And he goes, yeah, I don't think I have the coping back.
That's what it was. Yeah, man. I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Even though, there's obviously bad parts. Writing wise, there was the open storylines that don't get resolved. There's the fact that it was fairly sanitized. Where you know, like I said, they stuck with the popular metal bands and the popular style of like what you're gonna hear. Of course, they couldn't fucking have these kids go up there and play fucking, you know, some like, I don't know, Behemoth.
Right.
Because then that talent show
Like
wouldn't be those
straight up
kids jumping
black
around
metal.
and stuff. Because you go up there and you play the type of metal we listen to at a fucking high school talent show, and it's gonna be everyone standing.
You
around
know
going,
what, though?
I knew he was gonna shoot this place up someday.
You know what though? You know, I think today, like nowadays, like I think you could get away if they did it in like a Thy Art Is Murder or like a Parkway Drive kind of style.
I would even go like if they did like a Lamb of God style song.
Lamb of God would work as well. Yeah,
but
of course.
the screaming wouldn't have worked. That's one thing.
That's
everyone,
the killer.
Everyone that
That's
doesn't
the
listen to metal,
fucking.
Every single time, I just can't get past the screaming is what I hear from them. It drives me up the fucking
I like
wall.
the music, but why are they yelling at me? Fucking shut up.
Part of the music.
It's part of it. It sounds awesome.
You know, listen to a little Vocaloider. Like,
Drives me fucking nuts.
That's why I loved the I think it was like 2009 when that fucking Gangnam Style was everywhere.
Yeah.
And every time we threw a party at my house and people would put that on, I'd be like, "Oh, I can't understand what they're saying. He's speaking fucking Korean." Like, the fuck out of here. Can't understand what they're saying.
That song went platinum. I'm pretty sure. But it's
Oh shit, my battery died.
That's all it is.
Yeah, it's that and there was another singer. I think it might have been Lord. Or no.
Yeah.
Or was it? Who's the one that did the Go to Rehab song?
Oh.
Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, Winehouse, yeah.
Where she slurs half of her lyrics because she can't fucking. She was aged out of her mind in the studio, and people are like, "Oh, it's so good." Hey, you know, I'm not hating. I'm just saying that you couldn't understand half the shit she was saying, but then people are like, "Oh, I can't understand." It's like, it's Slipknot. He sings fucking clear at the time. He's got one of the clearest registers in metal.
I know. It's so weird. Like some of the most accessible stuff to us, like to other people, is like they still don't get it. They still don't. Hey, he's yelling at me.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I've had people that like, you know, they're, "Oh yeah, I fucking love Slipknot. I love listening to them." And then like we'll get in a car and I'll turn on like Eyeless and they're like, "What the fuck?" Like, "Oh, you listen past like All Hope Is Gone, don't you?" Like, million. Like, and that's not bad. Those are all great songs. I fucking love them. But like, no, dude, this is where it came from. Like, you want to hear 13 minutes of fucking Corey Taylor losing his shit in a studio? Like, I'll turn on Iowa, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's. I want to listen to Iowa.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I mean, we're coming up on an hour here, boys. So,
Are we?
Yeah. I think honestly, I've said everything I need to say about this flick.
We got a. I don't know. We don't have a scale. How do you rate it? Would you let's just say, would you recommend it?
No, you know what?
That's a good
I'm
way
gonna
to
put
do it.
one horn up in the air for this one.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm gonna give him the horns for that one. I'm not gonna go double because, like I said, there was potential for them to kind of expand upon and introduce whoever watches this to more modern metal, but they kind of stuck with 80s thrash.
They really did.
Because again, that's accessible.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it is the most popular metal in history.
Yeah, and
So-
I'm not, I'm not an elitist. I'm not going to shit on it. But it's just, I'll never myself. I would never just like turn on a Slayer record. It's
Really?
just- yeah. There's, I listen to the not newer stuff. I listen, my era, Slipknot.
Fair enough.
Azalea Dying, Lamb of God,
Yeah.
Black Dahlia stuff.
Yeah.
You're gonna call us all posers, but you're gonna sit there and tell me you don't put on Slayer every once in a while.
No,
You don't put on a Slayer record.
Fucking
Slayer. No, I like
Really,
no.
I
man.
never do that.
No, it's like
I never listened to Slayer.
I
didn't
did that
listen to
yesterday.
Anthrax. I didn't listen to fucking Metallica. I didn't listen to like any of like the classic metal bands when I was growing up.
I mean, I listened to a lot of Metallica because like my dad and my stepdad were both huge fans. AC/DC, the same kind of thing.
Closest thing to metal I listened to because of my parents was Black Sabbath.
I mean, yeah, it's like some OG shit. But like, you know, like I'm saying, they had a chance to, like, you know, introduce a wider array of metal, and they didn't. They kind of like talked about, you know, some of it, but in the end they stuck with what people would accept.
Yeah.
And I told, like I said, you know, 20 minutes ago, I totally understand that last scene, the Battle of the Band scene, wouldn't have had like a mosh pit break out amongst high schoolers who just rocked out to Mollycoddle if they were playing fucking Slipknot, you know, like.
Oh, that scene would have kind of been way cooler, though.
Oh, it would have been way. Oh, I tried, dude. If they would have got up there and fucking played something that sounded like, you know, what a horrible night to have a curse.
Oh my fucking god, that would. Oh.
They play I Come Blood for their school.
Yeah, this one goes out to all the ladies. Fucked with a knife.
Yeah, you say that. We tried to play Sex and Candy for our high school talent show.
They couldn't because of the title.
Yeah. So we played Rock You Like a Hurricane, and I don't know if you know this. That song is all about fucking. There's a line in it.
You shook me all night long?
The bitch is hungry. She needs to chill, so give her inches and feed her well. That is one of the lines straight out of Rock You Like a Hurricane. Rock You Like a Hurricane in itself. Come on, man. Like, it's like that song, Pour Some Sugar on Me. They're like, ooh, what are they talking about?
It's fucking every AC/DC song. It's fucking, it's
fucking.
like Steel Panther just wasn't, they didn't use innuendos anymore.
Yeah. They just,
like that's all
you know, so yeah, you know, what, one horn, not the full set.
One horn?
Yep.
Would you recommend it to a metalhead friend?
I would recommend it for metalhead friends to introduce their friends to metal.
Hell yeah. Alex, what about you?
I'm going to give it a little tiny horn.
Tiny
I
horn?
thought it was like pretty good, but realistically, I'm never going to watch this movie ever again.
Fair enough.
Like, I got the experience. I kind of thought it was funny. I chuckled and I laughed. I had some fun watching it, but it wasn't captivating enough for me to be like, fuck, bro, we should put on Metal Wars. This show's dope.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
I'll recommend it, though.
All right, Aaron.
I'm gonna give it the two horns with the one, so it's like 1.5, I guess.
It's like 1.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, pulled that out. I don't know, anyway. Yeah, I'm actually pretty impressed with how they, you know, were able to show the representation of metal in a way that was like kind of isn't really seen too much as far as like popular stuff, and they actually did it in a way that, like, you know, kind of was relatable. Because I know there was definitely points in this where like I was, you know, kind of calling back to, you know, a lot of the reasons why I got into heavier music, I guess, at the time. Like, I saw a lot of myself, and like you were saying, the couple of main characters and stuff, and just some of the weird, like, you know, stuff of like trying to fit in with, you know, with kind of everybody, but also like, you know, doing your own thing and trying to figure out, like, you know, just the regular growing up shit, I guess, in a lot of ways, and trying to, like, I don't know. So that was cool. I also just, you know, there were some high moments in it. I guess, you know, like I said, the one thing that kind of took me out of it was like a lot of the plot points and stuff. Some of the stories didn't really match up, or like, you know, kind of they didn't really call back to anything. But overall, I don't know. I don't know if I'd come back to it super frequently, but I would, you know, I'd definitely give it another watch. So probably recommend it as well, depending on who it is. Like, and that's the other thing about the music that we kind of touched on, like, as far as getting into, you know, the bands that they're calling into, and, you know, who they were, I guess, representing. You know, it kind of, you know, to your point, as far as bringing in heavier bands and stuff, like, there's always, I felt like there was more like logo stuff, and more, you know, it was more of a big advertisement for just metal in general, instead of trying to, you know, like, get the heaviest thing, like the heaviest sounding thing on stage, or like, you know,
on
in the
screen.
movie.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I like that. That's a good point.
Yeah, they definitely flexed their music budget here.
All right, we're at 2 of 6 horns total right now.
2 of 6. Well, I'm definitely gonna. I'll do. What is this fucking scale?
Okay.
I'm thinking
horn,
there's at least 4 positions.
half horn, and then Aaron went with 1.5 horn. It was the double, but with 1 pinky, right? And I did 1, so 1.5, 1.5.
All right, I'll do a full horn for it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
So that's 3 of 6 horns.
I definitely would recommend it, but most of the people I would recommend it to are in this room, so I don't know who else I would recommend it to. But no, I you know, it's not perfect. It's far from perfect, but just anytime I get to see, you know, a movie like this about heavy metal with that being the thing, like Metal Lords, Studio 666, fucking shit, what's that other one? Or Lords of Chaos, Heavy Trip, you know. I love all of those movies because they're very like you know, it still felt like very like fleshed out and like kind of raw, like kind of Clerksy, had kind of like, you know what I mean, like kind of shit, but it was also, it did have, you know, Netflix budget, so but I thought it was good, and anytime I get to see a movie about heavy metal, I'm kind of a shoo-in. Like, I'm just gonna enjoy it probably no matter what, unless they like, you know, rake us over the coals or something. But fucking
yeah. I mean, definitely there have been movies where it hasn't been focused on metal, but the metalhead character is a stereotype.
Right? Yeah.
Like super hard.
Okay, I'm gonna actually amend my rating. I'm gonna do a full horn just for the leg break alone.
That
Oh
the leg
my
break was
God.
brutal.
Yeah.
When they
I
lifted
did
it up
not
and
see
they-
that coming.
Yeah, I didn't think they were gonna show like a prosthetic or anything like that, and it was a pretty solid.
And you know,
little-
I'll
you know,
say
pretty
of
good.
everything in this movie, that scene was the most anxiety inducing because you legitimately don't know what's gonna happen. I thought he was
Yeah.
gonna die.
Oh my god! Could you
and-
imagine if that was the end of this movie? Is the fucking 100
He dies on stage during a ripping ass solo.
Yeah, I could have seen it.
Again, for the audio medium, I'm putting up the horns.
Be like, oh, dude, I could have been friends with that guy.
Yeah.
That's such a death clock moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
actually.
he's laying there with his busted ass leg, and he looks over. Who's fucking right there to give him the horns? Motherfucking Robbie.
Yeah.
Robbie just
Robbie.
looks at him and nods and gives him the horns. Dude, Robbie was the shit.
Robbie gets 2 horns up.
Yep,
easy.
Robbie gets 2 horns for sure.
Robbie's the shit.
So that is a total of 4.5 of 8 horns. It got over. The scale is broken.
All over the place.
I don't even.
know.
We
When
someday
There's
the
at least 4 horn position or 5 horn positions because there's the 1.5 also.
there's the knuckles, there's the full, there's the assholes that do like the fox thing, which was cool at baby metal concerts, but baby metal's not a thing anymore, so you don't get to do that anymore. Yeah, we'll figure out a scale for this.
Jesus Christ.
I don't fucking know.
We didn't even
man.
set a baseline for it, so we're really.
Yeah, we're gonna do just 1 out of 8 every time, or we're gonna
That-
fucking
Yeah.
figure out something else.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's where we'll just continue rating the movies using something from the movie at a completely undiscussed scale that has no weight whatsoever.
I'm gonna give Doctor Strange 3 Eye of Agamotto.
I'm giving Thor: Love and Thunder 6 bulging Natalie Portman biceps.
4 Professor X wheels.
Speaking of, you see Gore the God Butcher leaks?
No.
What?
Oh man, yeah. Christian Bale's Gore the God Butcher leaks.
No, I did not see that.
They started showing off.
Featured in Multiverse Murderfest.
Yeah,
Part
check it out
1.
from
I
last
don't know if
time.
he's got all black from the way they made him look though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They got it. They're totally gonna have some kind of like the ending of
Eternals.
yeah, the one where they introduced fucking Blade, but they didn't show him. And Jon Snow opens up the fucking sword. They gotta fucking have an all black.
And they got the ebony blade.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, have you guys been watching Moon Knight?
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah,
So
pretty
good.
When he said
So
Bog
good.
One, I started laughing really hard.
Yeah.
Like he heard some hoodlum kids in fucking like random parts of London say that, and he was like, "Fuck yeah, that's sick." Bog One.
Once we finally get off our asses and finish up phase 3, then we can start in on Moon Knight because it's definitely a series that we have to do all at once though.
Oh
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
We couldn't do it
Episodes
week to week.
flow so much
No,
better
yeah.
if you watch them in sequence. There's only 2 right now, and making
Yep.
watching them back to back made it way better.
Way better. I did the same thing.
That's my Wednesday morning, like get up, work out, and watch Moon Knight routine, and then go to work and can't talk to anyone because
Nobody else has
watched it yet.
Dude, that's what I did
Yeah.
with fucking Peacemaker and shit. Like I had one of my coworkers that was watching it for a while, and then like one day I'm like, "Yeah, man, did you watch Peacemaker?" "Ah, no, I'll catch up." Okay, And he's just like, see
you tomorrow.
Like, oh god damn it! I just want to be like, bro, but like fucking vigilante.
Peacemaker's great.
You know what I enjoy doing though is I'll throw fake spoilers.
You're like, bro, yeah. They jump
Do you
apart.
really want to test me?
And then Spider-Man showed up, but it was also like, I don't know,
It's Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Or something like, or like to make him watch a little closer. Be like, dude, tell me if you spot this Easter egg. Which one? You'll know. That'll come to work.
Oh, that would fuck with somene's head,
Oh, yeah.
dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then he comes to work and he's like, oh, dude, you talking about like, you know, was that Mephisto?
No.
No. No, it's not Mephisto. No, it's always been
Mephisto is coming. I'm
No,
convinced.
I'm telling you, dude, end of phase 7. It's going to be fucking flashback to young Thanos. And a dude's going to walk up to him and be like, you know, you could use the Infinity Stones to wipe out half of our life in the universe, and that would be really quick, wouldn't it? And it'll be Mephisto.
Don't
Yep.
stop writing better movies than what they're gonna make. God damn it.
Are you saying that they're gonna make shitty movies?
No, they're all good, but shit, that is fucking brilliant.
Mephisto all along.
That would be the Mad Notes. Oh my god. That'd be awesome.
They do a flashback to Agatha's little song and dance number in Westview, and it's fucking Mephisto standing outside the hex.
Like with puppets.
Yeah,
literally
on Master of Puppets cover. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, guys. Metal Lords. 4.5
Mephisto!
8 horns. Mephisto.
Watch
It was
if
Mephisto
you
all
were
along.
an awkward metal kid in high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah. Watch it and cringe along with us, man.
Yeah. It was really good.
And yeah. So I think that's gonna wrap us up.
We love you all. Thank you for watching.
Make sure to go out, fucking share us on all those socials. Take your friend's phone from them like right now while you're listening to this, and follow Lost in the Dark, Bog Talk, all of it. Every social you can think of, they're out there. I'm pretty sure we even have Linktree. No, we don't. That was the band. So yeah, man. Follow us. Spread our shit. Watch Metal Lords and fucking be fucking good to each other, man. Like
Be excellent
be fucking excellent to each other.
to each other.
And make sure to always stick a pinky in that butt during the BJ. Thank you very much, everybody.
Wild Stallions!
What did I tell you? Absolutely epic. I hope you saw the movie before you listened to this episode, because we spoil everything. I should have said that at the top. But I personally really enjoyed this movie. I'm definitely going to watch it again. And, you know, it's very rare that we get, you know, heavy metal movies. You know, there aren't many, you know, there really are not many. And I could absolutely see this movie gaining a huge cult following at some point in the future. Because I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I thought it portrayed certain aspects of metal in a really cool, like fun, funny, cool, and unique way that I haven't seen on screen in quite a while. So I guess what I'm saying is more of this. More of this. You know what I mean? Give me the heavy metal Clerks. Give me fucking, you know, heavy metal. Like this is like the heavy metal high school movie. We have Lords of Chaos. We have Studio 666. You know, we have Wayne's World. We have a few, but not many. So more of this, please, everyone. I would love to see, you know, back when my cousin and I, Preston and I, worked at a Headshot together, we wanted to make a little metal Headshot movie, you know, very much in the style of Clerks. But sadly, we came up with that idea right as we were closing. So that sucked. We didn't have the time. But, you know, more stuff like this is what I would like to see. You know, I love all the superhero movies. I love the Godzilla. I love all the big spectacles and all that stuff. But I also really love a basic ground level kind of movie. And this is what that was. And I really enjoyed it for that. So yeah, just more of this, more metal movies. Hopefully hopefully maybe there's a filmmaker watching this right now that's like, yeah, like make it, man. Like do it. Like I would watch every second of it. So I just hope that this movie does pretty well for Netflix and it inspires more things like it. I really do. I really do, because this kind of shit speaks to me, and I really enjoy it. So I hope you watched it, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And that's going to do it for this episode of Lost in the Bog, motherfuckers. As always, we got tons more in the pipeline coming very, very soon. But until next time, my friends, raise your fucking horns and bang your goddamn heads. We love you all to death. Good night.
Lost in the dark.